Well, it's time for our message, and I thought we'd do something a little bit different today. We've got two people who have quietly been working in the background here for many years. So it's time to hear their light and their wisdom shine. So would you welcome Reverend Dr. Sylvia Erickson, first of all. Sylvia.
Thank you, thank you. Good morning, everybody. Lovely to see you all. And lovely to see you all. Somebody hold back the crowd. Dear. Yeah, I've got something written here. Thank you. Now, do I have a chair?
Yes, you've got a chair here, and that's where. Then we'll adjust the mic.
Good, thank you very much. Thank you. Well, today we're talking about strength. And if we're very, very careful, we can feel the strength, because the more faith we have, the more strength we have. And as we know, we are born of God's perfection, and we are spiritual beings, and we are having a human experience. We are here as co-creators with God to establish God's divine plan for all good, for all of humanity, and to make this world the best possible place for us to express our own inner divinity. So it follows that we must have within us the strength of spirit to help us cope with all the vicissitudes of life. And there are many, but we have that strength within us. And we need to have faith in this inner strength. And we need to turn inward every day to commune with our own inner God self, and to give thanks for this reliable strength as it emerges on every occasion it is needed to sustain us. The great prophet Isaiah prophesied our inner strength when he said, "Those that wait upon the Lord will renew their strength. They will mount up with wings as eagles. They shall run and not be weary, and they shall walk and not faint." So it's well worth reading Isaiah if you get a chance to. There are some lovely promises in Isaiah. I've written a few down just to remind you. There are promises made regarding strength, and I've only got time to say a few of them, but he says, "Keep silence before God and let the people renew their strength." And then he goes on to say, "The glory of the Lord shall be revealed, and it shall stand forever. He shall give power to the faint, and to them who have no might he increaseth strength. So shall my word be that goeth forth out from my mouth. It shall not return unto me void, but it shall accomplish that which I please, and I shall prosper in the thing whereto I sent it." And then he says, after we've had healing and we've waited upon the Lord, "Then shall thy light break forth as the morning, and thine health shall spring forth speedily, and thy righteousness shall go before thee. The glory of the Lord shall be thy reward." So please read Isaiah. It's wonderful. And we must look at our faith. Do we have a strong faith? Is it strong enough to ensure that our inner strength is always there when we need it? because the stronger our faith, the stronger our inner strength. And the stronger our faith, the safer we will feel, no matter what is going wrong around us. And we must realise that no matter what appears to be going wrong, God is always there, steering us towards our good. However, we cannot sit still and expect God to do all the works, because St. James tells us that faith without works is dead. So we must do the works. We must live our truth. It's easy to read all the books and to say all the positive affirmations and to quote all the truth principles. But it takes real dedication and much inner work to monitor our thoughts, words, and actions, to see ourselves objectively, to note how we affect others, and to expand our spiritual awareness into a deep spiritual knowingness, a knowingness that has come within us by our own inner growth. And we grow into an expanded version of our own spiritual awareness. It is said that there's only one thing that God cannot do. Yes, believe it or not, there is something that God cannot do. God cannot rise above our level of awareness. Think about that. We need to work on our level of awareness. Think big. Open our mind to all sorts of ideas. And this is our divine task that only we ourselves can do. Nobody else can do it for us. God waits patiently while we go our own way, making all our own human mistakes and suffering all the consequences until our spiritual awareness expands and we learn to stop looking outwards and start looking inwards to our own indwelling truth, which is the one indwelling presence and power that is always ready to guard us and guide us on every step of our way. It is also the still small voice that will tell us all we need to know about the task we have in hand. You know, when we learn to trust this divine guidance and depend upon it, it helps us make more discerning decisions, guides us into right action, and so we learn that right action brings right results. And this is the bottom line: to embrace the truth principles so that they work for us, we must align ourselves with our own inner truth and endeavour to live with integrity in all things. You know, honesty brings its own reward, which is divine order in all our affairs. In the very first psalm, we read that God honours the righteous person, and whatever the person doeth shall prosper. And so we live with integrity, and we are given the strength to prosper and to gain better outcomes in all that we do. So let us drop all negative thoughts about ourselves, for we are magnificent creatures. Did you realise that? We are all, every one of us, magnificent creatures, born to build a better world according to the divine plan. And so we endeavour to fulfil our divine potential, for we have access to all the love, all the wisdom, all the intelligence and power that God is, and we have been given dominion in all things. So let us right now glory in our God-given strength and claim our divinity now and live it as God meant us to live it. And we will prove the truth of Psalm 82, which tells us, I have said ye are gods, and all of you are children of the Most High. Jesus repeated this when he said in the Gospel of John, is it not written in your law, I said, ye are gods. So let us live to the honour and glory of God and our own indwelling Christ. And let us give us thanks right now for our indwelling strength. God bless us all. Thank you. Where am I? Where am I? I'm sorry, I've moved that. Thank you, thank you.
Would you thank Reverend Dr. Sylvia? What wonderful words of wisdom, weren't they? Well, we've got even more. But you know we have two doctors in the house? Radth, what sort of a doctor are you?
An old one?
Yes, okay. All right, Reverend, would you please welcome, he hasn't been on our platform for a long, long time, Reverend Dr. Radth Youngman.
Morning. Good morning, everyone. And today's daily word, we all said we aspire to create a world that works for all. We thought about what might be involved in that. Strength, a lot of strength needed to create such a world. And Jeanette has prepared a set of powers of the month that are on or going on display in the foyer. They're there now. Yeah. So if you'd like to look at those later, but strength on there says the ability to endure, stay the course, and persevere. And the affirmation on there is, I have all the strength that is mine to do. And maybe you don't need to change the whole world in one go. But what do we mean when we say strength? In New Zealand, there's a common greeting that's been repeated a lot over the past week. It's kia kaha. Be strong, stay strong. Keep on keeping on, persevere. Be steadfast, be courageous, be compassionate. But how can we express our strength in the face of life's challenges? In this very old tarot card, a man is wrestling the lion representing the challenges in his life, the enemy. And he is using force, attempting to dominate the world with his strength, with his force, with his willpower, very outward going strength. And he will persevere with that no matter what, even to his death, if needed. But there's an alternative way to meet challenges. And that comes up in a more modern card for strength. Don't confront the challenge, understand the challenge. Get to be one with the challenge, close to it. Love your enemies. It's what Jesus has been said to have said. So we need compassion and understanding. And you'll all remember, I'm sure, or most will remember the story of Androcles of the lion. In one of the many versions of the story. And one of them is that Androcles was a Christian slave in Rome who escaped and found himself out in the desert somewhere, went to a cave. It turned out there was a lion in there, and he was very afraid. The lion was holding out its paw, but wanted help. He removed a thorn from the lion's paw, and they became friends for life. Later on, Androcles was caught again by the Romans and sent to the Circus Maximus to be fed to the lions. Fortunately, the lion that was there was his friend, who came and just lay with him. The Romans were so impressed, they set the slave free. So the enemy became the friend, and a challenge likewise can become a strength. So kia kaha, ratato. Kia ratato. Let us be strong. Let us be strong together, meeting life's changes, challenges. Let us support one another. Kia nui tāro. Let love prevail. Love will see us through. Love will be the source of our strength. Love, and as Sylvia said, faith. And so we get so close to our challenge, to our enemy, that we become one with it. And those of you who are old enough might remember George Adamson, who, along with his wife Joy, set up a protection of lions in Africa, somewhere in the 50s, I think it was. And on the web page and on our Facebook page, Reverend Bill William Livingston has written a wonderful affirmation that suits this. I now let go and let God, my inner strength, reveal to me right action for the good of all concerned. I remain flexible to spirit and see the good in all. And so we might aspire to a world that works for all. And just going to follow this up with a song from The Lion King. It's the opening song, Circle of Life. The first chorus is, it's the circle of life that moves us all through despair and hope, through faith and love, till we find our place on the path unwinding in the circle of life. And the chorus is all in Zulu language. It basically comes down to this little cub turning to his dad and saying, here comes the lion. So afraid, not realizing he was the lion. So enjoy this song.